Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Ethereum. We're also going to be talking about some Bitcoin news, but Ethereum mainly because it's important right now, what's happening with Ethereum. It's about to go back to all-time highs. If you do like this content, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. But let's first get into the news. The first thing that I wanted to show you is this article. So the Bitcoin Mining Council, BMC, came out with a report. So they're saying that only 0.38% of the world's wasted energy is used on Bitcoin. Very important to note that that's wasted energy. If you look at the total Bitcoin consumption, which I really like this chart here, the total Bitcoin energy consumption is 0.12% of the entire world's energy production. So it's a very small, right? It's a very, very small sliver. So what does this tell us? This tells us that all of that manipulation that happened back in April and then into, the next coming months and then into that capitulation, it was manufactured FUD because of this dirty energy aspect for Bitcoin, when in reality, it wasn't even that big, but now it's reduced to a very, very small amount compared to the rest of the world's industry. Obviously, our energy problem and our energy consumption in our finite planet is a problem, 100%. Is Bitcoin the solution to the problem, to attack Bitcoin? Absolutely not. There are systemic problems within the world and humanity and how we look at energy that is causing our issue today and causing our carbon imprint. So obviously, Bitcoin isn't a big factor for global warming or anything like that. So it shouldn't be something that is of concern of anybody. Obviously, a report like this is very helpful and very bullish for the Bitcoin community to really put this in visual perspectives, because humans are visual beings. In terms of Ethereum, it is inching closer to ETH 2.0 with the Beacon Chain's Altair update. So that is coming. ETH 2.0 is around the corner soon. TM, I guess it's not around the corner. Who the hell knows when Ethereum 2.0 comes out? But ultimately, I have Ethereum locked up right now in a stake pool. So it's literally cannot touch that Ethereum. I don't plan to touch the Ethereum. As soon as it's released, I most likely will not touch the Ethereum after that and just keep it as a store of value, take a lot of my profits from a lot of altcoins, potentially spill that into Bitcoin. I might one day take profits from Ethereum, but no time soon. Definitely sometime after ETH 2.0. At this point, after ETH 2.0, because 90% of my Ethereum is locked up. And that should just go to show how much I actually am just interested in blockchain, willing to lock up thousands of dollars for a hope and a dream. So hope you're on it, Vitalik. But in terms of Ethereum, it is on this dramatic increase that's been going on for a number of weeks. These are all daily candles here. It's been going on a dramatic incline. Now, the thing is that a lot of people have pointed out, and we've talked about volume before, is the volume is low. And the volume is low in general in the crypto market. That's not always a bad sign, but a lot of people, and even in actual TA, low volume with an upswing does mean like a false kind of pump or a false bull run. Now, that being said, I don't see that here, because I see the volume has basically stayed level for the past little while, maybe decreased a little bit. But the reason why I don't think that this is a big issue is because we heard a lot about the supply shocks in terms of what's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's a lot less Bitcoin on exchanges and also a lot less Ethereum. Remember that Goldman Sachs has said Ethereum could possibly be a better store of value than Bitcoin, and I actually think that they might be right. Tyler Winklevoss does think that. I don't know about Cameron, but I assume he thinks the same. There's a lot of other people that are fairly bullish on Ethereum, Raoul Pal being one of them. Now, if you're ever interested in the Bitcoin dominance, we have been looking at that. Roughly, it was at 44%, 45%, give or take. It has now dropped to 42%. And because this episode is brought to you by BitBuy on TA Tuesday, we will be talking about the values between Bitcoin and altcoins, say XRP or Cardano or Ethereum. Okay, so welcome back to the BitBuy screen. What we're going to be talking about essentially with TA perspective is the difference in terms of the trading pairs for things like fiat currency and Bitcoin. Because at this point, you should be looking at the values of certain cryptocurrencies compared to Bitcoin, especially now that the dominance is more prevalent. The dominance matters a lot more, that we have Bitcoin kind of settling in these price zones. So to put that in perspective, you can take a look at a couple of different pairs. We're just going to be looking at Bitcoin pairs. This can be translated with, say, Ethereum and XRP if you want to trade more ETH pairs. But for example, if we take a look at ETH and BTC, we can see the current price of Ethereum compared to Satoshis. Now, of course, we're talking a lot about Ethereum in this episode, and we can see that clearly, at least today, on the 2-hour time frame, Ethereum is on a breakout compared to Bitcoin. If we take a look at the daily frame, we can see a much more dramatic breakout at this point after a low, after this big drop-off that we've had compared to the Ethereum price and the Satoshi price. So each Ethereum is worth how many Satoshis or how many Bitcoin. And you can see that detailed here. Essentially, one Ethereum right now, according to the chart, is worth 0.0687 Satoshis. So that is the denomination of how much Ethereum is worth in comparison to Bitcoin. Now, you don't actually have to only see Ethereum and Bitcoin. You can take a look at other pairs, being, say, XLM and Bitcoin. We can see XLM kind of breaking up a little bit above Bitcoin, which tells us our dominance is sinking for Bitcoin. This isn't a bearish identifier for Bitcoin. It just tells us that the market is going to be able to move a lot more separate. Bitcoin's a lot less of a gravitational pull on a lot of altcoins. So that's essentially where the dominance comes into play. And this can be applied to as well XRP. We see XRP, a nice little green breakout candle here on our daily chart. And if we take a look a little bit deeper in terms of the shorter time frames, we see that this just happened in the last 2 hours. That we got this big spike against the Satoshi value, against the Bitcoin value for XRP. So again, it's not a bearish indicator for Bitcoin. It's more of a way to identify how alts are going to react in the near term. And especially now that everything's breaking out against Bitcoin, it's certainly bullish for a lot of altcoins. So we see now Bitcoin has kind of relinquished some of its control over the market, and now we have a lot more push for a lot more altcoins to make moves up. And we see that as well with a lot of other altcoins that we've talked about before on this channel. One altcoin you guys know that we talk about a lot is Cardano. Obviously, we're winding up against the USD chart right now, but if we do take a look at the ADA Bitcoin chart, we do see that little kind of pump against Bitcoin. Now, we did kind of see that pump before. We kind of got rejected or went down on a little downwards trend, but we are making our way back up on the value of Satoshis. Now, we do have a lot of ground to make up in terms of the value against Satoshis, but we are absolutely going to make that for things like Cardano. And more importantly, since this episode is a lot about Ethereum, Ethereum is obviously breaking out on a continuous breakout. We've had these continuous daily candles to the upside, a couple of red days, but nothing dramatic, breaking out against the Bitcoin value. Again, showing us that the dominance on Bitcoin is lessening and other altcoins are able to pump adjacent. And just so you guys can see where Bitcoin is right now, it is on a little bit of a red candle right now, below its all-time high, but still at a high, almost $62,000. So it's not like Bitcoin has dropped a dramatic amount. It just seems like a lot of altcoins are now at least pushing, because we can see that with the ADA chart. We do see a little green candle. Whether or not we'll break out of this kind of pennant formation, still yet to be seen. We do have XRP breaking out, obviously, today, showing at $1.15. And then obviously we have a big Ethereum pump that has been going for the last couple weeks. So obviously Ethereum is on its continued breakout and going up to the upside and definitely getting close back to its all-time highs. So, okay, we've gone through all of the preliminary stuff. We know all the denominations between Bitcoin, Ethereum. Now, what does that mean? Where's Ethereum going to go? Now, if you want to predict where Ethereum is going to go, you have to look at prior moves for Ethereum, what it could do realistically again, and where it might hit. Now, at this point, Ethereum is, in my opinion, relatively undervalued. We have a high point here where we're almost at the all-time highs, but we haven't even had near close the volume spikes that we had before. Now, our target price at this point is 20,000 and 10,000 respectively. So to look at a move like that, if we were just to go up to, say, midway, that's around a 250% increase to get up midway to about $15,000. Now we have to ask ourselves, how many times has Ethereum made a 200% increase? From here, from the bottom to the top, it's about only 180% increase. Now from all the way down here, if we take a low point and then go up to our spike here, we clearly see a 560% increase. And if we take a look from the March capitulation up, it was around a 362% increase. So a 250% increase, or even a 200% increase, or even a lower increase to get us to 10,000 is very realistic of where Ethereum could hit. So around 150% just to hit our $10,000 mark. So has Ethereum made moves like this before? Yes, it has. Can it make another move like this again? I believe it can. Now, the thing that we need to keep in mind here is that we have time on our side, because I don't think that the market peak has ended. I don't think we're at the market peak in any way. And I think most likely this market peak is going to happen sometime in 2022. I mean, we can fight about it. We can say that it might happen in December, but it most likely will happen in 2022. In my opinion, in terms of lengthening market cycles over time. Now, if Ethereum made a move similar to what it made down here all the way to this run up, and again, this is way exaggerated, this way overblown, it would hit the tippy top of our $20,000. If we made a bit less of an increase, we see that we hit the tippy top of $10,000 at the 180. And if we made one of these moves in terms of after the March capitulation, which I highly doubt that this is going to be the way, we would eventually hit the midway point. So we have different paths to that $10,000 mark. Now, I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. All I'm saying is that Ethereum has made moves like this in the past, and a move to 10,000 to 20,000 is actually realistic. Now, you might ask, okay, what does the market cap need to be? Well, we have to look at the circulating supply and times that by our target price. So for example, if we have 118 million tokens times, let's say, our $10,000 Ethereum price, we get a market cap of $1.18 trillion. So then you look at that number and you're like, okay, how realistic is $1.18 trillion? Actually pretty realistic, considering when you look at the market cap right now being at only $500 billion. Now, $500 billion is a lot of money. $1 trillion is a lot of money. But if you look at the US stimulus package that was passed or is passing, or whatever the progress is on that right now, it's a multi-trillion-dollar bill. The total cryptocurrency market cap is 2.7 trillion. A lot of strategical analysts have been looking at where the market cap could be, and a lot have been saying upwards to $8 to $10 trillion by the end of this market cycle. Maybe that's a little bit bullish, because a lot of people think that we're ending here in the next month or so. I do think that we're going to extend a little bit further. So a $10 trillion market cap is actually very plausible. And a $10 trillion market cap would also help things like Bitcoin hit that $150,000 to $200,000 mark. And at this point, there's enough money coming into the system where Ethereum could easily double the price, if not go to $1.2 trillion, which is our target price to get up to $10,000 Ethereum. So if our total crypto market is upwards to, say, $10 trillion, and Bitcoin is going to 150, hypothetically, Bitcoin would have to almost 3x from here. We're only calling for a 2x on Ethereum. Now, the reason why it'll be a little bit more on Ethereum is because Ethereum has more room to grow, because it has less of a market cap. It has a smaller market cap than Bitcoin. A little bit more than half. Actually, Bitcoin is basically at our target market cap. So we want exactly what's in Bitcoin right now, almost $1.2 trillion. So when you look at it from that perspective, you start to realize, okay, if we can have the money enter the system, more likely we are going to see people flood to Ethereum. More new users are going to Ethereum. I even talked to a lot of people when they talk to me about cryptocurrency and talk to me about Bitcoin. Their knowledge on altcoins is very minimal, but the only altcoin that they always know and they always ask about is always Ethereum. A lot of people have a lot of hype about Ethereum. The Polygon network is doing amazing things with layer 2. We have ETH 2.0 coming out that's very bullish. This has kicked off the whole NFT scene. We're going to see a lot of movement for Ethereum, especially as a store of value and a smart contract platform. So I actually believe that the $10,000 target price is a more conservative price than what we could actually achieve for Ethereum, which is why I'm saying between 10,000 and 20,000 is the target. And the reason why I give a broad target is because you should be taking profits maybe after $10,000, maybe a little bit higher if you're a little bit more risky. But that's it for Ethereum. Why I think it can hit those prices. Obviously, it's dependent on the money coming into the system and that we actually extend our bull market into 2022. If we do hit a market peak by December, price target's probably going to be a lot lower, but I still think on the high end, we should be able to achieve $10,000 if we do hit a market peak by the end of the year. That's it for me. If you did like this video, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. And of course, happy hodling.